With a news update on WHTC Holland's Cool FM, I'm Gary Stevens. 9 parks projects in Ottawa and Allegan County are in line for state funds. Yesterday, the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund disclosed a list of 75 land acquisition and park development projects statewide that will share in $45 million of grants, leveraging nearly $64 million in local and matching funds for a nearly $109 million total investment in public land and outdoor recreation. Ottawa County and Saugatuck Township are each receiving 2 separate grants, totaling $800,000 and $2.9 million, respectively. Other communities in line for the funds: Holland, Hudsonville, Spring Lake Township, and Otsego. A complete list of these grants is in the story at WHTC.com. The Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund has awarded around $1.4 billion to state and local units of government in land acquisition and improvement since it was established in 1976. With the money coming through interest and earnings on funds derived from the revenues of state-owned oil, gas, and minerals. The public is getting a chance to have their say on the state's long-term judiciary approach. A virtual meeting is slated for Monday to go over the Michigan Judicial Council's 2026-29 strategic agenda. It's the second time that the panel, which makes recommendations to the state Supreme Court on matters pertinent to the administration of justice across Michigan, establishes priority goals for the judiciary to consider. Among those goals are fairness and accountability, along with public trust and understanding. And those are matters that need addressing, according to Allegan County Prosecuting Attorney Mike Villar.
If an attorney gets grieved, it goes to the Michigan Lawyers Weekly, and it goes to the state bar. And you have a magazine that comes out, and every month it says, here are the people that have been disciplined, and here's what happened, and here's why they were disciplined. That does not happen with judges, and there may be good reasons for that, but I think that in the public's eyes, that creates a little bit of distrust because we cannot see what is being done. So if a judge gets reprimanded in private, nobody knows what the reprimand was or how effective it was.
The deadline to register for this Zoom session is 5 p.m. today. Online links for registration and more information on the Michigan Judicial Council Strategic Agenda virtual public meeting are in the story at WHTC.com. On this final weekend before youngsters return to the classroom, a couple of fun activities are slated in the Holland area tomorrow. From 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Windmill Island Gardens, the 7th annual Bark in the Park event will bring canine lovers onto the home of the Dizwan Windmill for games, giveaways, and other attractions. Groomers, trainers, and other local organizations will also be on hand. Meanwhile, all-day activities are slated for the inaugural drone race on the grounds of Helder Park just north of Zeeland. Qualifying races start at 10 a.m. with competition in the afternoon before the public can try their hand during the early evening hours on a specially designed obstacle course, according to Jupi Honeycutt with the Holland Area Visitors Bureau.
It's a technical course where racers kind of go through different gates and flags and dive chutes. So they're racing these drones, and then you can watch them right there. But then you can also watch what the racer is seeing through their first-person view on a screen.
Regular Windmill Island Gardens admission rates will apply for the Bark in the Park affair, while the drone race at Helder Park is free for the public. The Kent County Health Department has confirmed this season's first human case of West Nile virus in the county. It was discovered during a blood donation screening, and it has prompted officials to urge residents to take precautions against mosquito bites. Following a fatal case last year, the public is advised to use repellent with DEET, wear protective clothing, avoid dawn and dusk activities, and eliminate standing water to prevent transmission. The health department says its mosquito surveillance team will continue to monitor local mosquitoes for West Nile and eastern equine encephalitis. The state confirmed the first human case of EEE in Michigan this week since 2021. The case was in Roscommon County. 20 years after the launch of the Kalamazoo Promise, providing full tuition coverage for Kalamazoo public school graduates, up to a decade after their graduation, a study finds it has wide-ranging positive effects.
The W.E. Upjohn Institute for Employment Research released a study showing expanded college access across the board, increased enrollment in KPS, an estimated increase in home values, and retainment of families. Deputy Director of Research Brad Hirschbein says Kalamazoo Promise inspired lots of programs around the country. Says there were around 60 to 70 such programs in 2005. That's grown to around 300 now. I'm Michael Arning.
Meanwhile, Kalamazoo Charter Township Supervisor David Combs is going to have this municipality launch a feasibility study about getting the township incorporated as a city.
Combs says this comes after the cities of Kalamazoo and Parchment have expressed interest in annexing parts of the township. Those sites are the land that houses the Kalamazoo Expo Center, the Kalamazoo County Fairgrounds, sought by the city of Kalamazoo, and the land where Beacon Hospital has sat for more than 100 years on Gull Road. Parchment wants that. Combs says another option will be for Parchment to reincorporate as a village. The township will be able to expand its borders to include Parchment. I'm Michael Arning.
A 44-year-old Muskegon woman died after being injured in a crash last night in Eggleston Township. Muskegon County Sheriff's Office responded to the wreck around 7 p.m. when the woman failed to stop at a stop sign on Evanston Avenue and then was hit by another vehicle that was on Maple Island Road and had the right-of-way. 2 people in that vehicle hospitalized but expected to recover. State Occupational Safety and Health Administration investigators are headed to Kalamazoo area following a fatal incident.
An employee of Kaiser Aluminum in Comstock Township died on the job this week. The worker had fallen and gone into cardiac arrest Tuesday at the aluminum plant off of Park Circle Drive near East Cork Street. Co-workers attempted CPR and they used an AED before first responders arrived, but the employee was pronounced dead at the scene. Counseling has been made available to all employees. The worker's name has not been released. I'm Michael Arning.
Michigan State Police have released the identities of 5 people shot and killed this month in Muscogee County by 39-year-old Chad Hickman of Lake City. Hickman killed himself along with 29-year-old Heather Schwartz, 53-year-old John Schwartz, 45-year-old Shane McGowan, 40-year-old Amanda Everett, and 16-year-old Eric Thomas. Now, 13-year-old Bella Padilla Everett survived being shot, called 911. She is hospitalized in stable condition. As parents send their kids back to school over the next few weeks, state police are urging them to follow their advice when taking back-to-school pictures.
Troopers reminding people that having a child holding a sign for their first day of school should never have their full name. The background of the image also shouldn't give away where it was taken. They also add extracurricular activities shouldn't be put on the sign along with the name of the school. They say that information can give bad people a detailed description of where to find kids. I'm Michael Arning.
An inmate at the Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility in Ionia was found dead in his cell this week. State police say 36-year-old Kevin Kelly was killed. His cellmate is accused of the crime. Kelly was serving a sentence for aggravated stalking. His death is the second in less than 5 months where another inmate is accused of the miscreant. 40-year-old Joshua McGee found dead in his cell in March. Inmate Michael Brewer charged with open murder and will be arraigned in that case on September 17th. A Massachusetts man will spend the next 3 and 20 years in a Michigan prison after being convicted of scamming a senior citizen in Portage of over $600,000.
38-year-old Zhao Yu Wang is also accused of defrauding another senior citizen in Portage. He has other victims in Warren and West Branch. Wang was also convicted in Iosco County of a similar offense. In the Portage case, he was ordered to pay $447,000 in restitution. I'm Michael Arning.
Varsity football teams of Gull Lake High School and Parchment High School have held their first practice as a co-op team. Both school boards approved the agreement this week, and the Michigan State High School Athletic Association signed off on it on Wednesday. Gull Lake canceled its varsity season due to a state police investigation into assault allegations against several Blue Devil players at a football camp in Oceana County earlier this summer. No players or coaches under investigation would be allowed to be a part of that co-op team. Idle last night, the Detroit Tigers meet the Royals in Kansas City this evening with coverage from Dan Dickerson at 7:45 p.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. Idle last night, the Chicago Cubs faced the Mariners in Seattle this evening. Grant Holmes and 3 Atlanta relievers allowed just a 7th-inning single to Andrew Benintendi with 10 strikeouts, as the visiting Braves blanked Will Venable's White Sox yesterday 2-0.
Toll on you, it takes a lot out of you, and now it's being tested more than ever. And obviously, it's 45, 50 games, whatever it might be. It's going to be a grueling for these guys down the stretch.
Chicago stays home to entertain the New York Mets at Wright Field this evening. The Whitecaps took advantage of 2 run-scoring wild pitches and a run-scoring balk, all by Jose Romero in a 4-run 9th inning, as West Michigan rallied past the Cubs in South Bend last night 5-2. The series at Kovalevsky Stadium continues this evening. Dan Campbell's Lions have their second preseason game on tap tomorrow afternoon, hosting the Washington Commanders at Ford Field in Detroit.
You just need to feel like things are cleaned up, that you're not making the same mistake twice. Some of these, particularly these young guys, these young players, like, okay, what did you learn from the last game? That's really what you're looking for, is their growth when the lights are on.
Coverage with Dan Miller is at 11 a.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. Get the latest news anytime at WHTC.com.